Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's autumn again, and it's a very special time of year for photographers. Autumn brings an inspiring change of color to the landscape in many parts of the world, and I'm sure you're as excited as I am to get out there and seize the opportunity. But what I want to do now is put a special twist on this autumn photography theme and challenge you by encouraging you to get out there to capture the autumn harvest. As I recently dug through my archive of autumn photos, I was struck by how many fun shots I've made from all kinds of different harvest-related subjects during the autumn season over the years. Autumn is a great time to document both the action of the harvest in its many different forms, but also the colorful bounty that it produces. There's loads of special produce heading to the market at this time of year, not to mention all of the fun moments and the interesting characters and other cool subjects and scenes that you could shoot to help you capture the harvest. Plus, it's just such a nice tactile, natural part of life that we can all relate to, so it's going to be really fun to see what you come up with this month. Autumn harvest can be so many different things, so whether you have access to an actual farm or not isn't the point at all. In fact, over the years, students in our courses have been producing outstanding shots, local markets capturing the spirit of the autumn harvest right in the middle of a busy city. Of course, images from areas with more of an agricultural vibe are great if you have a chance, but I'd encourage you to think more openly about what a harvest image could be. While we're at it, let's dream big for a second and imagine that we've been assigned to shoot an autumn harvest assignment for National Geographic. If that were the case, we'd be out there looking for all kinds of shots, from big sweeping agricultural landscapes to the action of the harvest activity, down to those close-up details and characters that are a big part of the story. That's 4 different types of shots right there if you're looking for ideas on how to capture the autumn harvest. In fact, not long ago, I gave myself a similar assignment and took the opportunity to visit a farmer in northeast Switzerland. I wanted to document his routine as he cut and siloed his grass for the winter, milked his cows, cleaned the stall, and even tuned up his equipment. It was amazing to me how much he accomplished in one day's work. And that project gave me so many different things to point my camera at. Plus, he was thrilled to see the photos afterward, and I even made him a nice book of custom prints to say thank you, which he absolutely loved. By the way, bartering photos for access to unique subjects is a great way to get your foot in the door, so keep that in mind. You can always bribe your way in with pictures. This exercise might require you to put on your reporter's hat as you get ready to go shoot. Find a subject or a location with a bit of Google research perhaps, or by chatting with someone who's in the know. If at all possible, I would recommend making contact somehow before showing up with your camera. Keep in mind that you can get plenty of good candid shots by simply explaining what you're up to. Tell your subjects that nobody needs to be worried about posing or looking into the camera lens, unless you want them to. But in my experience, the subjects are usually flattered by my interest in photographing them and more than willing if I promise to follow up with some pictures. If you're met with skepticism, then you either haven't sold yourself very well or you might be dealing with the wrong person or situation, so just move on and find a better opportunity. It's a normal part of the process. Since your approach and subject matter could be anything from pumpkins to truffles or apples to olive oil, it's tough to make technical recommendations on how to approach it, but I'll just say that your curiosity and your willingness to engage with strangers is probably your biggest asset here. Even if you tend to be shy about photographing people who you don't know, I'd say that this is the perfect exercise for improving your self-confidence behind the camera. Just embrace it, knowing that it gets easier and easier every time you go out there and do it. Making others comfortable with your presence, in my opinion, isn't done by hiding, but by engaging and communicating with your subject verbally or through body language or smiling and just showing general interest in what you're photographing while you're in the midst of the shoot. In some cases, you can get away with being a fly on the wall, but I find that in situations where I'm shooting very close to my subject, I need to do more than assume they don't see me. I need to explain myself up front and get the okay from them to be right in the middle of things with my camera. On the setting side of things, if you're shooting moving subjects like people, keep an eye on your shutter speed settings. Slowing down to show movement is super cool as long as it's done intentionally. So if you're going for sharpness, speed up that shutter. People buying produce at the market are often moving faster than you'd think they are, and I'd suggest starting with a 400th or a 500th of a second to be on the safe side. But remember that you can always download the creative exposure cheat sheet over on our website, and that is a great breakdown of your camera's creative exposure settings, so be sure to get yourself a copy of that one. Anyway, when I'm shooting at the market, I tend to stick to one lens, and that is usually my nifty 50. Because it's small, it's inconspicuous, and its medium field of view helps channel attention inwards toward my area of interest. But look, it's much more about getting out there and using the gear you have. And as the old photojournalism saying goes, F8 and be there. If you want to hone your photography skills, we have got a lot more waiting for you over at our website. So follow the link on screen to download our free camera gear guide and our exposure cheat sheet. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you over at ViewfinderMastery.com.